Alright guys, another video. On this video, we are going to be doing spark plugs on the Vsport. A little backstory, I have done the spark plugs and the coils on this car when I first got it, just because it didn't need it, but I did it anyway. I kept the original parts that were on it because I knew they were good, but I wanted to replace it just so that I had a basically a benchmark. I knew that it was done. I knew what condition they were in, but we are replacing the spark plugs. The coils are good, but hopefully these spark plugs are an upgrade. These are the spark plugs right here, NGK Rutheniums. So I've done a little research online, and apparently these Ruthenium ones are good for are a good upgrade. And with the car being tuned, apparently the spark plug gap is supposed to be closer. I want to say that the factory is 40 thousandths. Don't quote me on that, I'm not sure. But these were recommended for a tuned turbo car to be gapped at 27 thousandths. I think that's correct. I'll put something up on the screen to make sure that's correct. But we are going to replace these because the car has been having a weird low idle, and then it picks itself back up randomly. And apparently that's a common issue on these Vsports, that it idles kind of poorly. And hopefully that fixes the rough idle. A while back I replaced the MAF sensors and the boost pressure sensor, and to try to see if that would fix the rough idle issue. It didn't, so I did more research, and apparently the spark plugs could fix this. So hopefully these fix their weird rough idle, and it's not like horrible, but you can tell that it's there. So I'm going to tear into this. Hopefully it doesn't take too long, seeing that I did it before, but it's been probably over a year since I've done it. So yeah, hopefully it's not too bad. I'm gonna go ahead and tear into this, get you set up to so you can see what I'm doing, and we'll get started. All right, hopefully you can see that pretty well. The first thing we're going to do is take off the engine cover. This right here is actually the easy side, from what I'm remembering. And what we have to remove is this, there's a hose back here that we have to replace, like right here. Just had the push connector on it. We have to remove the blow-off valve, and we are going to have to, we might not have to remove the blow-off valve, but we do have to take off this this whole assembly here. I don't know what that's called. It's connected to the intercooler, but we do have to remove it. So I'm going to go ahead and remove this first, take this hose off, and we should have access to all three spark plugs on this bank. And it would be wise to do this on a cold engine so you don't risk messing up the spark plug threads. And and I'm not gonna lie, this engine is kind of warm because I had to crank it earlier on the other two videos, or on the other video. But I didn't let it run much, so hopefully it's fine. But it's not hot by any means, but it is warm. But I only let it run. It ran for less than a minute, I believe. And I do believe there's a gasket behind this. Hopefully it's in good condition and we don't have to replace it, or it's not ripped or anything. Looks like we're gonna have to take this hose apart. If I can remember how to do it. I think this is one of those aggravating ones. It is. Yeah, we're not gonna remove that. All right. All right, and we're gonna remove this hose back here. It's just a push connector. And it looks like it would be best to go ahead and remove that blow-off valve, so to give me a little bit more room. So I'm gonna go ahead and take that off. Right here also is not gonna be the same on a normal V-Sport. These clamps are from an ATSV. I got these because I didn't want to retrofit the aftermarket intake, cold air intake. So that's the reason why I have these clamps versus the original ones, which the original ones, I can't remember what they were actually, because it's been so long since I replaced these. But I would recommend these. I would recommend getting those if you don't want to cut these hoses and stuff just to make this intake work on the V-Sport. All right, so I moved this hose out the way right here. This is the hose that that you have to unclip from the back side. I'm going to pull these connectors out, the coil packs. All right, so we're going to go ahead and take out these, take out the coil packs. This is on here good. Wow. So that's the first coil. Like I said, I replaced these before. I think the originals were Denso. I meant to get the original ones, but I got confused and got Delphi instead of Denso. So I don't know if these are actually like how good these are or not, but I guess if this rough idle issue doesn't get fixed, this may be my next step. I'm not sure or not, but I'm gonna proceed to take out the other two coils and then move on to the spark plugs on this side. And as you can see, there's a lot of like moving stuff out the way. But it's not hard. It's definitely doable. It's probably hard to see on camera, but in person it's really not that bad, or at least on this side. I can't remember how bad the other side is, but we will make our way to it eventually. It's kind of hard to tell whenever this screw is released because they don't come out of the coils. Alright, and I'm just inspecting these to make sure there's no oil or anything on these. And so far they look good. Alright, that one's also good. Alright, and we'll go ahead and try taking the spark plugs out. You're going to need a 5/8 socket. And again, like I said, this right here is a tool that a lot of people need. And I just recently got one. But it was always one of those tools you kind of like feel like you don't really need, but once you have it, you wonder how to live without it, you know? All right. This is the first plug. I replaced it with factory ones, the AC Doco, and it doesn't look horrible, but it is pretty black around the electrode up here. But I don't see any carbon tracking or anything along the porcelain, so I guess that's a good thing. Here is the next one. Looks like the same story on it. All right. Next one, and the exact same story. Okay, so I have the new spark plugs. This is what they look like. And I'm going to go ahead and drop them into the chambers. From what the website said about the Rutheniums and a lot of the reviews, they recommend using dielectric grease on these to prevent carbon tracking. So I'm just going to put some inside of the coil. And I've actually never used this stuff before. So I'm not really sure exactly what it's for, other than what the website said about these. So I put some on it. I'm not sure if that's enough or not. And I'm rushing myself because I have to tighten the spark plugs down first, but I guess I can go ahead and put the dielectric grease on these since I've already started. Tighten the spark plugs down. And I'm sure there's some specific torque rating for these. I just know not too tight and not too loose. And now we can place the coils back in place. Alright, and we're going to take the 10 mil and tighten these up. Alright, let's go ahead and plug in the coil, plug back the coils. And let's plug in this hose. Alright, and before I screw back on this pipe here, I'm gonna just grease that O-ring a little bit. Got some 5W20 laying around. And I'm gonna do the same with this O-ring as well for the blow-off valve. Alright, so that completes this side. Like I said, this side's not too bad. It's just a lot of like finagling, like moving stuff out of the way and holding it out of the way. The other side has a lot more stuff on it. So I'm thinking it's probably going to be a little bit worse, but I don't think it's still that bad. But I'm gonna go ahead and move you to the other side and get started on the other side. All right, so this side has a lot more hoses and purge valve and this blow valve, of course, on this side. And we also still got to take this hose off the side of the intercooler. So I'm gonna go ahead and start removing this stuff, and hopefully it won't be too bad. All right. This coil is a little damaged right here. I don't know if that's going to hurt anything or not, but I don't see anything exposed, you know. But the inside looks good. All right, this one is the same story. I'm not sure why. This one also is a little discolored around, but this whole thing is a little discolored. It also smells a bit like kind of burnt and kind of like gas. And this one is also the same. It's got that little mark right there. This one doesn't smell as bad, and it's not discolored either. Alright, first one. I think I see a little bit of carbon tracking on this one, right there. But the electrode looks about the same as the other ones. Whoa. So I think that, I don't know what cylinder that is, but that's the coil that was discolored. I think this one was a problem. Look at that spark plug. Look at the porcelain right there. And I guess that's probably the coil that's been giving us the issue, or at least the plug that was giving us the issue. I really don't know if I should replace the coil or not. I do have the original ones, but I don't really want to mix them. Alright, so this plug looks like the other 5 minus the last one that we just seen. Alright, so we got all the spark plugs in, and now we're going to add the dielectric grease to the coils. I'm going to put this same burnt looking one back into that same spark plug chamber. I'm gonna go ahead and hook this hose back up and put some grease around the O-ring. Next is the blow-off valve, putting oil around it. I was supposed to put this hose back. That hose is in, and now we can put the blow off valve on. Alright. And next is all of these hoses. These hoses almost can only go on the right, and they can only go on the right way almost, because they're all basically fit to length. So basically whatever it falls down towards is what it goes on. Alright, so that looks like that is it for the spark plugs. So I'm gonna get everything cleaned up and I'll do the startup. I'm about to get in the car and do the startup. It did start up a little weird, but yep, there's the engine light. Oh yeah, it's running really rough. I don't know if I left anything unplugged or not, but let me get to the bottom of it. You guys will not believe, but your boy can be an idiot sometimes and jump the gun. And check this out. 1, 2, and 3. Can't see it, but I left not 1, not 2, but 3 of the coils connectors apart. So I'm going to get those connected and we're going to try this again. All right, I got the connectors back in and we are going to try to start up again. That is much better. And it feels extremely smooth, but it's not warmed up yet. But I can see the needle moving just a tad bit back and forth, but it is definitely way better than it was. It is smooth. So I do see it moving just a little bit, but like I said, it is definitely much better. So I'm going to do a test drive and I assume it's okay. Like I said, I might have to replace the coils, And so that's going to conclude this video. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on the next repair.